Now here. Got to do this
all
over again. Okay, welcome to the Wing It Call. Today is February 19th, 2016. We're not professionals. Seek professional guidance. We're idiots ourselves. We're going to make our own mistakes. We're not responsible for yours. Blah, blah, blah. Thank you. Go ahead. Sorry. Start over, Wheels. I forgot to start the recording.
Oh, no. All right. Well, bear with me, folks. Okay, so I need to back up all the way to the beginning and thank Blondie for the discussion that we had the other night.
No, you don't need to.
Really?
You don't need to do that part. Just start with the content.
No, Blondie, you need the credit, darling. Okay, so this is Hot Wheels, and this is a little bit of follow-up to something that happened on last Wednesday's call. And so for those of you that weren't on the call, or maybe you don't remember, let me just set the tone here. The discussion came about that banks do take your deposits and they invest them and do other things with your money. And the discussion, again, focused on would there be a way, was there a way that you could prevent that? And the answer is yes, and it's called a non-interest-bearing account. Now, some of you may have them. I happen to have one. I've had one since 2013. And I was coached to get this for a couple of reasons that I'll disclose in a moment, and I think it's important for you to know. But the tone of this is that many of you, or some of you I know because I've already talked with you, have tried to get this done, and the bank dissuades you, doesn't know how to do it, doesn't know the form or whatever. So we're going to put that to rest today, and I'll give you the specifics of it. So that's why I'm here. That's what I'm doing as a follow-up. So let me tell you firstly, get a paper and pencil. You're going to want to write this down. The form number and a little bit about the form. Then I'll tell you the process that I used, and I think it's important to know. And then I can take a question or two if Jerry wants me to. So the form, and this is a Wells Fargo form. I'm going to assume that most of us are going to exchange with Wells Fargo. I'm going to. So leave it at that, but this is a Wells Fargo form. And the form number that I have right here in front of me, I'm going to read it off now, is a DSG, which is Dog, Sam, George, DSG 7322. DSG 7322. And the title of the form, interestingly enough, is Agreement to Terminate Interest. It's a one-pager, and by the way, it's also notarized. And so that's the form itself, that's the name and so forth. It is a Wells Fargo form. And now it's probably a good time to say that I didn't have time to run over to Wells Fargo and just double-check that since 2013 when I had this done and now that they haven't changed form numbers. So what we're going to do is, between Blondie and I, we will double-check that, and we will post one of these, a clean one, out in Blondie's site on the wsomn site. So you'll be able to find that and pull it if you so choose. Why would you want to do that? Here's why. As I was coached in 2013, and it did come to bear, I took my own clean one of these forms with me in a folder, and I went over and requested that, told the bank what I wanted to do. I wanted a non-interest-bearing account set up. And as I've been coached, sure enough, the guy fumbled around, said, he didn't think he could do that, there wasn't any way, and pretty much put me off. And if I didn't know any better, I would have gone out the door, as some of you have done, thinking that that wasn't possible. So what I did nicely is, when he didn't seem to know how to do that, I said, well, here, let me show you a form that a friend of mine gave. And I would recommend that you be nice about it and, try to make friends while you're there and just show them. I said, this is a Wells Fargo form. Can you look it up? Well, he did, looked it up in the computer, found that I was correct. Well, he was still so unknowledgeable and insistent that I not do it. In addition to seeing his own form live, he actually called a superior to be sure that he could go ahead and execute the form for me. So that's why if you don't have this form and you don't know that it's a real live vehicle, you may be turned away at the bank, either unwittingly or wittingly, I don't know. But that's my story. So I was able to go ahead, based on all of that, and get this form executed. I also asked for a copy of it, which I have right here in front of me. I suggest that you do as well. Why would that be? Well, if there's going to be any things going on at banks or just in the hustle and bustle of daily activity, and your account ever were to get turned back into an interest-bearing account, you have the proof right there in your folder that you did, in fact, draw that up and ask them to do something different. Now, how do we know about this, and what about non-interest-bearing accounts? What was told me in 2013, and if anybody has any other information, let us know. But I was told that this non-interest-bearing account and how it actually operates, meaning that the banks will not do anything with non-interest-bearing accounts if, in fact, there were negative interest rates or anything like that in the future. And that is found in the Dodd-Frank bill buried somewhere. I hope that's not an urban myth. It sounds right to me. It feels right to me because, as you know, many of the governmental folks always find a way to protect their own stuff, but most of the time we don't find out about it. So that's my own opinion. That part, the rest of it is fact because I'm looking at the form. Okay, so there's the story of how I did it. You know about the form and why you would want to use it. So, Jerry, have I forgotten anything?
Nope.
Or Blondie,
perfect.
have I forgotten anything?
No, excellent job, Wheels. Hang on the line in case other people have questions. If you can.
Wheels, it's Martha. I do have one question, and I'm sure it's going to come up. What about sweeping the accounts? That has been a major issue with everybody, whether to let the bank sweep these accounts or not sweep them.
Well, I'll tell you what, Martha. In all candor, in 2013, when I was coached to do this, I had never heard of sweeping an account or why would that be important or some of these other bank issues that I've now become aware of in the world of dinar. So I don't know that answer. That's a good one. And so if someone wants me to research, or Martha, maybe you do that, that would be great to know. I don't know that answer. I can tell you, I did get a question yesterday.
Can I break in here for a second?
Sure.
I just want to interject something. If it's a non-interest-bearing account, you wouldn't be able to sweep because sweeping is all about interest.
Okay.
Oh, good one, Blondie.
Blondie, thank you, dear.
Wow, another blonde. Isn't that great?
Yes,
I even amaze myself sometimes.
I'd like to throw 2 cents in here.
Could you let me revel in my brilliance for 10 seconds?
Well, and I'm going to jump in here.
Hold on. Okay,
Gary, just
I'm
one more
over
thing. Okay, and one more thing that I will add, Martha, as a dovetail into that. Someone asked me this yesterday about it, and yes, it is a checking account or savings, and you designate that by telling them what you want to do, and then going ahead and they set that account up, and the accounts are actually designated on this form. So that's another question that some of you might have on your mind. Yes, Jerry?
I was going to say, and I also forgot about this, my day's really been messed up. I didn't get to clink the bottles, but that doesn't mean I'm not drinking. Blondie and I have a prior commitment later on today, so this is only, and this I'm sticking to it, only a 2-hour call. So in about an hour and 10 minutes, this call is going to be over. Okay.
Well, I hope that wasn't indicative that I took too long, so I won't take it that way. So I'll mute out if there are no other questions for me.
No. It was just I remembered that I needed to make that announcement. So.
Oh, I know, but I thought maybe that was your subtle way, and I just wanted to acknowledge that, sir.
Negative. So 5:30 Eastern, this call is over. Thank you. Anything else, Hot Wheels?
No, not unless you have questions or anything else for me. Did I miss anything? Was that clear?
Perfect for me.
All righty. Thank you.
Wonderful job. Wheels, hang till you can, okay?
I'll be here, dear, the whole time.
Thank you, hon. Go ahead, Jerry. Take it away. You are now in charge, buddy.
Thank you, ma'am. I see. Hold on. I'm going to unmute this line here. Hello, Joseph. Go ahead. We haven't seen you in a while.
Oh, my.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Oh.
Joseph, hi.
How's everybody doing?
Shabbat shalom.
Good today.
Shabbat shalom.
Hey.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah. You guys are killing it. You're really starting to ask good questions, so I'm really happy with Jerry, I'm really happy with the way the call is progressing, and it's kind of sad you're not going to have much time left to do it, in terms of pre-RV. So,
right. Thank you.
But and thanks for providing the form too, where we can say what we think or feel about a variety of things. It's been really appreciated, and your costs money to do these things, and time, and admin, Bill, and Blondie, and even the mods have all really been working hard to add value. Every time they come on. So thank you.
Well, Joseph, that's what they call me, value added.
Well, I guess blondes have a lot more fun then, right?
Yeah, we do.
In terms of Intel, guys, I've put some things out. I've actually higher rates, but I couldn't confirm the higher rates. Those are confirmed from 2 Wells Fargo sources, one in Texas, one in Minnesota. So, and then the other intel that I have is more military. I think that when it finally does go down, I've always thought that there would be a big military presence. So I've done my own work in trying to develop contacts within the intelligence industry. And last week, all the major troop movements were mobilized. That they have put the big helicopters, the big Apaches up last few nights. And what I mean by that is not in a scary way. I don't want to scare anyone. There's an old saying that if you want peace, you have to prepare to go to war. So the way I think the Republic looks at this, and the Chinese and the Russians, which are all Pentagon, which are all kind of coordinating this, is they're concerned with anything that might stop the flow of this after, 14, 15, 16 years of getting it set up. The last time we were supposed to have a major transfer of wealth like this, we got 9/11. So they're very cautious. So to see them make major troop movements, to see them make major artillery movements is encouraging for guys like me who have been waiting for it for a long time. Plus the SIP codes were all released and have been tested, beta tested, and actually there's some exchanges going on right now. So we're there. The question is, when is it our turn? When do we go in? Nothing's going to happen until the markets close around the world, which happen in about 4 minutes or 6 minutes, give or take. And I just wanted to call in and say goodbye.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's time for. I'm a sovereign guy. I don't listen to anybody's calls. I'm not beholden to any bank. I'm not. Nobody asked me to be quiet. So I feel people deserve to know. They deserve to know the truth. And the banks have been kind of using some of the intel sources, not that it's a bad thing or a negative thing, but they've been trying to keep the peace and keep it calm and keep expectations down, which bankers always do, and kind of give you the lowest rate possible and the international rate, and lower interest rates and things like that. So I just hope that maybe I've been a counterbalance to their high end. I do want to add one point about the Zim. And hopefully I'm talking slow enough for the mods or the transcribers, but you know, I came out and I told you guys that the ZIM was a bond. By order of the elders, they have to settle all bonds in the United States. So when you go to redemption, just know that you hold with you a very valuable instrument, probably more valuable than just a regular piece of currency. And you do have leverage. The rates, I don't know, you know, we had heard rates, you know, months ago it was in the teens, and then it moved up to the 20s, and then the 30s, and then we heard it was in the 40s, and now we've heard it's in the 60s, right? What I want to offer is that it jumped up about 20 cents almost overnight. And the reason being is because that is the rate they always intended it to come out at anyway. They just didn't want to give you that rate to start with. They wanted to tier your expectations up so that when you did get the real rate, you'd be so thrilled and excited, you wouldn't really want to negotiate, which is a pretty good negotiating strategy. Start low and look like you're settling, and all of a sudden your client's happy and you close the deal. Well, it's a great number. I'm not discouraging it at all. I want you to look at what the number is. It's 0.65. And if you move the decimal point over one place to 6.5, you would have the exact same number as the current value of the Chinese yuan. Interesting, huh? And if you look at Zimbabwe's currency, the currency that they pegged from the dollar in the basket of currencies that were causing them so much problems, and they converted over to the Chinese yuan, right, as their reserve currency for the country. So when you hold ZIM, you're actually on the back screens, on the gold back screens, you're holding Chinese yuan. And I put a pictorial out of the ZIM to the yuan to the gold to the new rainbow currencies that are coming out. It's all the same currency, guys. It's all gold back. Imagine going to a paint store and seeing all the beautiful colors and all the chips, you know, and you can select any color you want, and you go pick it out. Those are all the currencies of the world. And you go pick it out, and you turn it in, and they mix a white can of paint for every color. That's what the currencies are. They're all one white can of paint with multiple colors. They're all gold backed. So if you're looking for an MCA account or you're looking for a non-interest bearing account, which are normally really good hedges, I don't want to say it's irrelevant because it's not. Diversification is always the best strategy for protecting your wealth. But because the entire banking system is being reset and switched over, all the banks are functioning on the same computer system. They're all functioning on the same value system. They're all functioning on a gold-back palette, if you will, of colors. So for you to stress or get agitated or anxious over how to best manage this, don't. They've thought it through for you. They've already provided you a safe vehicle to go exchange. Don't get too worked up about it. If you want other currencies because they're pretty or you just want to diversify, go knock your socks off. But they're guaranteeing every currency. They're guaranteeing it the same because it's all gold back. So I just wanted to offer that. I'm not saying you're going to get the same price as the Chinese yuan for your ZIM. I'm just, when you go in, I want everybody to have confidence that what they have is of extreme value on the world stage. You have, either by gift or by education with what you guys are doing, you have earned the right to turn it in and claim the prize. And they have done a very good job of protecting you both in the banking system and militarily so that you have a smooth and safe experience when you exchange, not just at the time of redemption, but well after it as well. So I just want to offer that peace of mind that if we're at redemption or going through the process, we're safe.
Joseph, this is Blondie, and thank you for that, but I would really appreciate it if you didn't spread the rumors that education was going on over at this website, because you have no idea what kind of damage that would do to my reputation.
Well, you guys have educated me.
With that being said,
and you've educated me and Bruce and Art and even Ray to an extent, and even Tony to some extent. I mean, everybody's doing their best for what we know, and it's an invisible puzzle.
I'd like
really
to,
hard to.
Joseph, I'd like just to throw something at you here, just to get your opinion or your feedback on it. And this goes when we're there at the exchange center doing our exchange, and we're asking for a certain rate, and they say, "Oh, sure, yeah, but you need to talk to your wealth manager, but we're willing to give this to you right here." I'm telling them I'll trade in everything but my Zim, and I'll talk to the wealth manager when I get there, because it's my opinion that once you give up your currency, you lose the leverage, and then they don't have to give you anything but whatever was there at the initial exchange. What is your take on all that?
I concur with that 100%. What's interesting is when you actually go to exchange, depending on how much you have, but most people are going to end up going to the same redemption center. Some of the whales are going to go to special private banks or offices that are set up for more time for negotiation. But you're exactly right. It's two negotiations in one when you think about it. Because if you're going to go for a higher rate and you're going to go for an interest-bearing account or some sort of contract between yourself and the bank, their leverage is you not knowing what's going on and not having time, right? Being excited, almost disoriented. I don't mean that the banks are trying to get over on us. I'm just saying that they're trying for a peaceful transition too, and they know most people are going to be their eyes are going to be so big at the time of exchange, they'll take, to some extent, anything, because they're ravenous, they're hungry, literally. Some people are really hungry, to go and exchange. So they have the leverage because they have that urgency on thrown on your side versus their side. And what I want to offer everybody is you hold gold bullion in your hand. You hold, if it's Zimbabwe or Vietnam or Indonesia, you hold sovereign claim to that land, those assets. They're little bonds, and you hold them. Maybe it was gifted to you. Maybe you bought it on the internet. Maybe a buddy slipped it to you, at work. But you hold it, and you have power. And I just want everybody to claim their power when they walk in there, and don't just, like you say, Jerry, you got to know your value before you start a negotiation. And I just want everyone to understand that it's not just what they hold in their hands that is of value, but they are a soul on this earth, and we have been oppressed as a species for centuries and centuries and centuries. And this is our time for the meek to kind of reclaim our own earth, our own species. So be proud, be strong, know your value, know the parameters are any from 65 cents up to $6.50, just on the Zim alone. I mean, I've seen gong rates as high as $22. I've seen. Are you
saying that the VND is also an historical bond?
They're all technically bonds. No, not quite like the Zim, but they're all little bond. In essence, whenever you print a currency, you're printing against the sovereign asset and trust of that nation. But the Zim's a very unusual piece of historical evidence, if you will. It's an unusual instrument. It performs multiple functions. And what's interesting is the Chinese used it against the cabal. They actually used it as a weapon. And so now they have to redeem it because they used it. And we just happen to own it. So I just want everybody to claim their power. That's all. I mean, I know I'm saying this a lot. And because a lot of us haven't had money, or we haven't had the sensation of having a lot of zeros in our account, we're going to walk in there a lot of times with maybe not as much certainty. We don't know if we're well enough prepared for this. It is an unprecedented situation. But Jerry, you're spot on. You know, when you turn it over, that's your one shot. It's kind of like the Olympics. You know, this is your 30-minute run. And you get one shot. You've been preparing for 4 years, some people 8 years, right, for this moment, and here it is.
Well, thank you for your. Can you hang out with us for a little bit in case there might be a
little bit. I just wanted to inject one more thing. I know you have a lot of calls and intel, and I want you to get to all of that. I just want to encourage the women to gain their power. And it's your era. It's your time. It's time for the divine feminine energy to rise again and to claim their majesty. So if you're a female and you're listening to this call, or you know other females that are going to be redeeming, or you're giving currency to after the fact, or cash, or however you're choosing to work it, as men, it's really important that we stand back and let the women lead, because that's the natural order.
Let's not get carried away here, Joseph. Let's not give away the farm yet.
Jerry, I got as much.
I was just going to say, now he's talking. Now, Joseph, let her rip.
But it's time for us. It's time for us to stand back and service and support our women. We need them. We need their love. We need their creativity. We need their intelligence. We need their drive. We need their commitment.
Oh. I'm not going to live this one down.
The world, I know. The balance of the world, male to female, is coming back and resetting as well, Jerry. You and me both, brother. We go to the back of the bus, but you know what? We have a lot of wisdom and knowledge, and we can help everybody on that bus. We can be stewards of our community. We can be servants to those that are in need. And my covenant in life is to encourage everyone to serve. Serve, serve, serve. There's so much joy in service, so much joy. And women, lead. There it is.
Thank you, sir. Hang around for a little bit, and if you got to go, just hang up. I got you here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and meet you up because there's.
Joseph.
New age, my butt. I got a text. I'm just replying over the phone. Okay, so Art. Do you have
That's
anything?
Me.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Don't really have much of anything. I heard Monday probably is the exchange day. That's about what we're hearing from just about all of our sources. I mean, we thought a couple of days ago it was going to be, but things didn't turn out. So now we're hearing Monday. We'll be in the exchange centers or banks or wherever one is going, and heard that from a few different sources. Everything's pretty quiet except for that. And just not much out there right now, except Monday seems to be the day.
Thank you, sir. We're going to go.
Wait,
yes, ma'am.
A question for Art. Did you want to add to Joseph's thing about chicks in charge?
Oh, God, here we go.
No, I don't think I'll quite go that far. He's done a good enough job. We'll just leave it at that.
Life's going to be unbearable for another 24 hours.
Oh, Joseph just dug you, boys.
Rock star number one. Come on down.
Is that me?
Nope. You're rock star number two.
All right. Actually, I had a...
wow. Art,
I go.
Bad, Jeff.
Yeah, I do have a couple of things to say. Guys, I've been living with the divine feminine for 40 years. She was in on this back starting I guess the early 80s. So I have some advice for all the guys out there. Just sit back, nod your head. Yes, you're right. Yes, you're right. And then you can go about doing the same things you've always done. And you won't have to get beat up on a weekly basis after they all have their meetings together.
Are you trying to say yes, dear, yes, baby, I hear you?
Well, no,
okay.
no, yes, yes, goddess, yes, goddess, yes. I'm being facetious. I totally agree with you, sis. It's that is part that is not part of, that is what is coming about, and this exchange of, or this leveling of wealth is a big part of it. Everything that we have been trying to build in the patriarchal landscape is basically coming apart. It didn't work. It relies on oppression. It relies on suffering. It does not build community. It tears it down. So enough said on that. On a more practical landscape, I'm still hearing a lot of fear from people about what's going to happen at that first meeting. And, are they going to be able to handle me? Or are they going to be able to help me? And I just want to reinforce that, we've heard it from all kinds of sources. They don't want you leaving that room without them getting every penny they can from you. Not just pennies of profit, but the actual resource. You're adding to their bottom line. They're not going to let you go without making sure you're satisfied. And there is a whole host of new products out there. And by products, I mean accounts, I mean investment opportunities, ways of managing your funds. They haven't been sitting around doing nothing. And they're prepared for every level of wealth that's going to walk in the door. That doesn't mean you still don't have to have your wits about you and watch your back and negotiate the best deal you can. But it's not.
Michael,
it's not. Yeah.
You going to ask for $6 on the Zim? I know I am.
Oh, I'm asking for 15, and let them go.
Oh,
You're out of your freaking mind, and then bring it down that way. And then, since Mr. Trump is popular with a lot of folks on the call, and then you do what Donald does, okay? Because this is what he does, and I've experienced it 3 times in my career. You're going to be all done. You're going to be all set to go, and you're just about to sign the bottom line, and he's going to look you right in the eye, or you're going to look them right in the eye and go, I want another nickel. And by that I mean 5%. I don't think you gave me everything you could have given me. So try that, and you'll be amazed. You'll be amazed what you might pull off. And don't forget, guys, every penny on a 100 trillion
is $1 million.
note is $1 million. Yes, $1 million. Think about that. So, and if the Don rates are what they're saying they are, that's another one. That all of a sudden, that's like every single dong note, every single dong is a major bell ringer. So
absolutely,
try to keep that in mind. I know it's going to be really hard. Something else too that I thought of the other day. I was helping somebody trying to sort out their first appointment. If you're not going to bring an attorney, if you're by yourself, you don't have a spouse, just bring somebody for moral support. Just bring a good, trusted friend, so that there's somebody else in the room that's on your side. Because it's very, very tough if you're facing 4 or 5 professionals and you're all by yourself. I don't care how experienced you are. It's a big advantage. Your energy doubles just by having that other body in the room. They don't have to say a thing. So that's another suggestion I got.
All right,
Michael, I have a question for you. Wait, Jerry,
yes.
This was brought up in the in our our room thing where you can ask
Mm-hmm.
questions, but also I have a question for you. You know, a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago, the suggestion was brought up about exchanging some of your, when you do your exchange to get yuan, if it was the fiat backed and it was 6-1. What now, depending on what would your ratio be?
It's my understanding that we could convert 100% of our USD to yuan and have an account that basically acts as a gigantic debit account. And what you have is you have another.
That's not my question. My question
I'm sorry.
is.
Ratio?
Okay,
I hear you. I hear you.
So now you can buy 6 yuan for $1?
No.
Yes.
So when we do the exchange, if you can only buy 1 yuan for $1, then that doesn't make sense. Is that correct? But what is how many yuan is your ratio acceptable to you that you think it's a good buy? How about that?
Okay. Anything over $1 is a good buy. Number one. Okay. Number two, we don't know what's going to happen in the first 30 days or so after the exchange. So it's a good idea to diversify anyway. Okay. Even if you're not making money, you might want to. You don't want to have everything in USD. You don't want to have everything in one bank. I am.
Okay,
I am
and
taking, yeah.
So my point was, when we were talking about this whole thing, this was like going to be a 40-hour turn on being able to do this yuan transaction, to get the biggest bang for the buck. So I get the whole diversity
72
thing.
hours, but yes, yes.
And so I guess I didn't quite get my question phrased correctly.
Okay.
If at the time you go into the bank and you're on top of it, and you can do this quick turnaround exchange and get some yuan, what's a good number? Like we were talking, you could get 6 yuan for $1. If you can get 2 for $1, are we still on that same quick turnaround time? I guess that's what I wanted to ask.
You're on the quick turnaround time, and it's not going to. The Chinese are not going to devalue the yuan. It's going to be around 6.5. Right now, I think it's 6.419. Okay, that's not going to change, in my opinion. Okay, they're not going to devalue the yuan. They're simply going to declare it asset backed. So for every dollar you spend on yuan, you get in round numbers $6.50. And when they declare they are asset backed, you now have 6.5 USD.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
yeah,
all right.
Yeah, that's that good ratio we've talked about.
Yeah. And personally, I am going to convert all. Well, I might buy some Norwegian krona and I might buy some Swiss francs just for the heck of it. Not as good a return, but again, diversification. But at least 90% of my money is gonna go into purchasing yuan because I believe in it. And if that falls flat on its face, I'm still a wealthy guy. So that's what you got to look at. You got to look at your. Yes.
You mentioned the Swiss franc. I saw out today that both France's currency and the Swiss franc are at the ratio is $1 to $1.01.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would mean that would mean that we are asset backed.
That's correct.
We are not asset-backed.
Yes, we are. We're coming out of the bank with the new USNs.
I think we are too, sweetie. You're coming out with the new USN.
I look at the recent post on the rates. The conversion is to USN.
Well, then how can a yuan still be 6.5?
It probably will be. I mean, eventually it probably coming out. It still is. It for our purposes, it's probably going to be 1-to-1.
I just wanted to bring that out
6.1.
Well, you know what? Let's talk about this.
How it happens. But if we're coming out of the bank with the new currency, then I would have to say we are asset-backed.
Why are we coming out with a new currency?
Because that's when it's being issued. We're getting the new USNs.
Everything's happening at the same time. The Nasara,
it's a wham-bam.
new currency. Yeah, it's a wham-bam.
Well, we won't know till we get there.
Hold on. Okay? I disagree. Okay? Everything that I'm being told, I disagree. So that's it. I think we're exchanging fiat. If we're exchanging Monday, we're exchanging fiat.
I concur.
I
want to bring Joseph back in because I have a question.
Bring him back in because another question I have for him.
Well, let me ask mine first. Everybody, hold on.
Yeah.
Am I back on?
Yes, sir. My question, Joseph, what is the bank going to redeem the historical bonds for the ZIM? Do you have any idea?
They're going to treat it as currency, number one. So they're not, if you talk about historical bonds in a redemption center, they'll look at you like you're nuts. So.
Okay, if we get 6 for it, what is the bank going to turn around and get it from the UST?
Okay, well, Wells Fargo is servicing as the U.S. Treasury right now. It's the actual banking mechanism for the New Republic Treasury. The New Republic Treasury is based out of Reno. The treasurer is based out of Reno. This is the admiral, who's actually not an admiral. He's a former naval sub-commander.
Right.
Okay, and he is the paymaster for the United States because he had his finger on the button of a nuclear weapon. The Chinese have trusted him with the finger on the button of the gold-backed currency. To Aiko's point about us exchanging into fiat, we haven't been on a fiat currency since April of 2015. So we're long past the days of fiat, long past. The reason they're issuing new currency is because the United States dollar was the major dependent reserve currency for over 180 nations. So they physically had to print new money because otherwise it would be way too confusing for most nations to suddenly not have the U.S. dollar. In reverse of that, the opposite of that in terms of the spectrum is the Zimbabwe. Their country won't trust their printed currency anymore. They tried to do coins, it didn't work. So they're having to use the Chinese yuan as their physical currency. So when you go into the bank, and I know we're talking about trying to get $6.50, that might be a bit much, but certainly those are your parameters. If the low number is on the screen and that's what they're offering, and the high number is the Chinese yuan, which is gold back, it could be somewhere in between. It just whatever your gumption is, whatever your volume is, how well informed you are, and if you're willing to get up and leave. Could you imagine, waiting all this time and not getting the number you want and getting up to leave?
Well, the reason I asked about that is because we know that the dinar, the sovereign rate for that is like $80. So I was wondering what that might be for the ZIM.
Oh, well, you're not going to get the sovereign rate. I mean, those numbers are staggering. We have I can say this now, we have a client that has over $8 quintillion of dinar in another country. Okay? $8 quintillion.
That's a lot.
It's stupid, right? I mean, it's absurd. First of all, who would buy that much? Second of all, the guy's trying to negotiate for an above market rate on $8 quintillion. So,
I didn't realize they had printed that much. I mean, I knew that they overprinted it, but I didn't realize it was that much.
That's one country. That's one country. So the problems that they've had with the dinar are staggering compared to what they have to the zim. The zim is a very controllable number for them. It's not a big number for them. It's not. And because they've wrapped it into the yuan, it will, in essence, get sold back out to the international community as the Chinese yuan. So if they take it in, let's say you get them at $1, and that's your number, and you redeem your zim for $1. Well, that zim converts into Chinese yuan. They take that Chinese yuan and sell it back to the world community at $6.50. They've made a $5.50 arbitrage. Do you feel bad for China for that?
No.
No. So why not ask for what it's really worth? Because if China, remember, China is getting all the natural reserve minerals, gold, oil, the palladium in Zimbabwe. You can literally rake it off the dirt, off the topsoil. It's so plentiful. The Chinese, the Russians, the world really needs Central Africa, the moist kind of region, the rainforest region of Africa, to move the world forward in technology and energy. So they have to have it. And this is our one chance to kind of say, well, I've got a piece of what you want. And I'm Miracle Queen, and I'm here, and I want what's coming to me. And you could ask. And this is the one time in your life that you'll be able to seize the day and carpe diem it. And I just want everybody to claim that power.
Yusuf, it's Iko again.
Yes, sir.
I need to break this down. When I walk into Wells Fargo with my dinar,
dinar is in.
Let's use dinar.
Okay.
And they offer me the international rate, which we understand is $3.41.
We'll see.
Okay.
I think it'll be higher. I think it might be double that. But go ahead.
All right. You know, well, just round numbers. $4, $5. I don't care what the number is. So I give them $1 million dinar. They give me back $5 million. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They give me $5 million.
Okay.
Then I say, I want to buy yuan. And I look at Forex, and Forex says 6.419. Okay, so I'm now taking my $1 million, my $5 million, and I now have 35 million yuan. Okay. All right. So there's 35 million yuan sitting in an account.
Yes.
And China then declares they are asset backed. Okay. They haven't declared that. I don't care what backroom deals, they haven't publicly declared it. They have not said to the world, we are an asset backed economy. When
neither
they
is
do
Russia,
that,
neither is India.
Right.
Correct.
Right. When they do that, my 35 million yuan is now equal to 35 million USD.
Mm-hmm. Well, no,
Okay.
USD is gone. USD has been gone since 2012, when the Federal Reserve Charter ran out.
So my
there
35
is no
million
more USD.
Okay, if I want to come back into the United States and buy a car, what am I buying the car with?
You're going to buy it with USN.
With what?
USN. United States.
USN.
That's the paper. That's the cash and coin equivalent of TRNs, and TRNs are the gold-backed currency of the United States.
Okay.
And that's because the Chinese elders have put up the gold for our country to stabilize it, because they don't want to lose their top.
That I understand.
Consumer.
My simple question is that 35 million yuan. What's it worth in the United States?
Well, that's what's interesting. The numbers are flipping. I tried to jump in there when remember I gave you an example once of an iceberg going upside down.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that? And I said the little point of the iceberg would now be underwater versus above it, and the bulk of the iceberg would be above the water, which is an unusual visual. Right now, if you convert the Chinese yuan with the United States dollar, the yuan is 15 cents of the United States dollar correct?
Okay,
If you do the reverse conversion.
Right.
So for one Chinese yuan, you get, or for 15 cents on the Chinese yuan, you get $1 US. That's how it would convert if you bought that car today. After the monetary reset, the global reset,
right,
the Chinese yuan will be worth the dollar, and the United States note will then be worth 15 cents. The Swiss franc will then be worth 15 cents. Do you see the inversion? So they're setting up all the currencies right now for the inversion moment. And it won't affect you in country because it'll still be 1-to-1. But if you were to travel outside of the country with your new United States note, it's going to have 1/6 of the purchasing power that it used to have before the reset. Just like that. So it stabilizes things within the country, within the localized economy, but it also resets and revalues to a gold-back standard for every currency.
So
it's
is
a
that
tough one?
Yeah, I know it's tough. That's why I'm trying to break it down.
Yeah, it's complicated.
If I'm confused, I know a lot of people are confused.
Yeah, I'm sorry for confusing everybody, but that's
okay.
what it is.
That's okay. So let's get back to what Martha said. Which, Martha, you pressed all my buttons, honey.
I'm sorry, honey.
That's okay. That's okay. I like that, actually. So
it's a woman thing.
It's a woman thing. That's right. That's right.
Oh Lord.
And don't we have to learn, Jerry. We have to learn. They're going to be pulling us all the time now.
We're all learning.
Right. So Yusuf, it's I understand what Martha said. That the day we exchange, we have gone worldwide with an asset-backed dollar, so that our dollar is, and I know there's always going to be a little discrepancy, but the day we exchange, it's going to be a dollar for dollar with all the other reserve currencies.
Correct.
Okay.
It's all the same currency. It's all the same white coat of paint. It's all the same.
Okay, so now
it's a different color.
Right. The only reason to purchase foreign currency is for safety and diversification. You're not going to make any more money.
Correct.
Buying the foreign.
Correct. There'll be no arbitrage.
Okay.
That's why everything has to go at once. Because otherwise, with high frequency trading, you gave somebody even a minute, even a second.
Okay, there you go.
Okay,
right.
Gentlemen, I think
that
you just synopsized that in the last 30 seconds of that call. It is going to be a 1-for-1, and perhaps we shouldn't be concerned about trying to do this quick exchange, and I'm sorry I brought it up, actually.
No. Good question. This is the winging it. We're winging it Friday, right?
We're winging it Friday. And we've got lots of callers. Jerry, you go. You have the list, buddy.
Yosef, thank you. And Rockstar. Now, Laura, Martha, go ahead.
I have one quick question for Yosef. In his opening remarks, he made a comment.
There is no quick question for Yosef, Martha. Don't you know that?
Martha, it's got to be a yes or no question.
All right. What's happening at 5 o'clock today, Yosef?
No comment.
All right.
It's been great.
Great.
It's been great talking to you guys.
Okay.
Own your power when you walk into your redemption. Christ is with you. Christ is God. You have the power. Claim it. Enjoy it. Spread it. And serve.
Love you, honey.
Thank you,
Martha.
Hey, Martha, something tells me you know the answer to that question.
I did, and actually, the transcribers picked it up. I had to go back and read their notes. So,
what is it? What is happening at 5?
I'm telling you. You're all looking to next Monday. Let's keep our mouths shut on it and leave it alone.
All right.
Well, it's important.
Right.
It's important.
It's
important people don't know.
That's it. Just let it ride. It's supposed to be a surprise, anyways. We're not really supposed to know.
Martha.
Okay.
Yes.
Shh, Martha. Okay. Shh. Thank you, Yosef. I'm going to mute you for just a second.
Thank you, Yosef.
All right, here we go. Northridge, California web call. Mr. B, go ahead.
Yeah, question about the cap on the ZIM. Is that still going to be enforced?
We won't know till we get there. We've heard rumors, but I'm thinking that if the bank says there's a cap, you need to go to another bank. They need to be a little bigger.
Understood. All righty. Thank you much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Jerry, can I ask you a question about that?
Sure.
Why would you have to go to a bigger bank on a cap on the ZIM? I mean, it's just electronic. But
I understand, but we've heard that if there is a cap, then the bank can't handle your business. If they don't have a cap, there's going to be a lot of trillionaires out there. But there is anyway,
but
because
if it's Wells Fargo or Chase or
hold
whatever,
on. Rockstar number 1 is going to give us a breakdown. Rockstar.
Yeah. I actually think we left most of the DR world just hanging in the breeze here. Most people were expecting a fiat exchange. So now that begs, and maybe there's not enough time on this call, but that now begs the discussion of Plan B-567-A, which is
I tell you what.
Now we're what?
I'm going to say, if we haven't went to the bank, do you want to do a 1-hour straighten this out call tomorrow, Blondie? Conversation about this particular topic?
Your wish is my command, oh master.
This is a huge topic, guys. This is
the day of the day of the woman. Today is our day, women. Revel in it. It's almost over. Thank you, Yosef and Aiko.
I'm looking across the valley and I can see my neighbor standing on his roof getting ready to jump.
They all have their hatchets out for you, Aiko, and their shotguns. But it's okay. You guys can get through it for a few more hours.
This guy's standing there in his underwear, and I'll tell you, it's only 22 degrees out here. So.
Are they boxers?
He's freaking out.
Are they boxers or briefs? We all want to know.
Right.
Oh my God. Yeah, if we haven't been to the bank, come tomorrow morning. How about around 3:30 Central? We'll just have a 1-hour call on this particular subject. How's that, Blondie?
That works for me.
Rockstar, what about?
Well,
that
Yosef
sounds
has
good.
no idea.
I can hobnob with my fellow wizard.
He's open.
Hold on.
Yeah, I
Yosef,
got a phone call to make as soon as we get off this.
Would you make that call tomorrow? Yosef?
Well, according to what Martha says, we may not need it.
Well, I'm just saying, if we're not at the bank, would it be? Is it viable? Anyway, if we're not at the bank, we'll do it. If you've got the number, okay?
Sure. Yeah, I'll just post it. I'll show up. It's a tough one, guys. It's the U.S. dollar collapsed in 2012. It went to international. They extended it for a year, and then they went to international court, and really, it didn't really resolve until 2014. But Aiko, we've been off fiat dollars. In fact, in August, I think 2013, in Rancho Mirage, California, the United States surrendered to their largest creditor, China. And there's pictures of Xi Jinping and President Obama doing a peaceful transition of the United States. So,
okay, Yosef, I'm going to put words in your. I'm not going to put words in your mouth. I'm going to tell you what I'm hearing. Okay, what I'm hearing is that one of the other major events that has occurred while we've all been looking left is on the right-hand side of the room. The U.S. has gone asset-backed. They just haven't announced it yet. And when the RV occurs, that's one of the That's one of the many things that are happening simultaneously.
Agreed. That's in the front of the house. I'm talking about the back screen solder,
Right.
the blue screens, the black screens. That's the world I live in, and that's kind of where it all starts, and then it slows down to the front screen. So you're not wrong. I'm just kind of giving the overall 30,000 foot, like I always do, macro. Right. That's just how I roll.
Okay, and for everybody out there, I just want to remind you, because I'm reminding myself right now, even if we exchange one-to-one in an asset-backed world, we are still all fabulously wealthy and should be grateful for every dollar we're getting.
Thank you, Igo.
To good use.
Thank you, Joseph.
Yep.
Let's take another caller or two here. Blondie, just work with me here. Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City.
Did you think I was loafing? Just because it's the day of the woman that I took the day off? Hardly.
No comment. Oklahoma City, 405. Come on down.
Hello.
City.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I have a family of 6 children. They're all sleeping on the floor, 2, and I've been taking them food. I want to know if I can go to the bank so I can help these people.
Not just yet. I'd like to show you the money, but they have not contacted me yet, darn it.
I mean, it's just terrible. With all these layoffs, and I don't mind telling you, I'm in Cushing, Oklahoma, where they think all the oil's here.
Right.
And all these layoffs, people just.
I wish I could tell you yes, but for right now, we have to wait a little longer. Not much, according to Joseph and Martha. So hold on.
Okay, and I have one more thing, and that is, I've been a special ed teacher for years. I'm on the board of Special Child, and I want to know, one of my things that I would like to do is have a place for these kids to go after graduation, because there's nothing for them to do but go home and watch TV, because they're not intellectually able to have a job, but they also want to have a life as well, though. So when I go to the bank and I negotiate all my ZIM, do I put all that into, I have other things I'd like to do, and I don't know what the terminology is right now. Do I put it all in one thing, or do I have to have a separate trust for this? For each individual items that I like to do for humanity.
Hold on. Joseph, would you like to take a stab at that? I've opened your line.
Yeah, I just want to tell you to just tie a knot at the end of your rope. It's almost over, honey, and the blessings are coming. And when you go redeem, which is in, tell them you're here representing all the special needs children that are going to help, and you have to give them the highest rate, because that's who I represent. Okay? That's your strongest negotiating too, because that's who you are. That's your life. You understand it, and it's powerful. And so claim your power. In terms of putting all your currencies into one account, that I know people say put your dinar in another. That's all nonsense. It's all the same asset-backed currency by a different color. So feel free to just take everything you have and negotiate with everything you have. Zim, Dong, and they say, look, I'm looking for a partnership with the bank. I'm not just looking for a redemption moment. I need somebody that's going to understand that I have a mission to serve special needs families and children because they've been underserved. And I need you as a partner, as a banking partner, to help me accomplish that. So whatever rate you give me or whatever you're going to offer me, just remember you're offering it to them, and they have been without for decades. There's your negotiating, kind of talking points. Because if they don't give you the highest rate they can give, shame on them. shame on the bankers. And I'm saying, and I know the bankers are listening. I know all of them are listening. You are not paying for this, bankers. It is the Chinese elders that have put this up, and you are serving as their paymaster. So don't come off like you're giving people money. You're not. What you're trying to do is avoid dealing with the riffraff after the fact. So do your job. Give people what they ask for, because you know you've been instructed to do that and not let anybody walk up off the table. And when the weak come in and those that don't have it all formulated or understand all the advanced theory of this, as human beings, you owe it to them to give them the highest possible rate so that they can achieve their goals as human beings on this planet. And I'm talking to all the bankers, and I'm talking to all the wealth managers, and I'm talking to all the executives that are going to make calls on the larger numbers. Don't just service the whales, service the guppies. We all matter.
Yeah. Joseph, hold on a second. Ma'am, are you on the forum?
Ma'am,
yeah.
Hey, Jer. I just had a request. Are you on the Winsome in the forum?
Yes, I am.
You know, somebody
Special
just
Child?
requested your Special Child. Is that your handle?
Yes.
Special Child. Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much.
Yes, I would. What I want to do is I want to put. I'd like to buy schools that have been, they either are selling and they're condensing into other bigger schools, and I'd like to remodel them and make a place for these special needs children to come, and not just have for art to play ball, because they'll have gyms in there and bowl and do all kinds of things that they would love to do, and then have other facilities where they can go and play them as well. And because there's nothing for these kids to do after high school. They go home and they sit, and the parents don't know what to do, and there's no outreach for them. And
will you do me a favor?
There's got to be something for them to do.
Okay, can you do me a favor? Would you PM me? PM Blondie in the room?
Yes. Right now I'm taking food to that family, and so I have to go do that. They're just in dire straits. And so there's 6 kids and 2 adults, but the man he can't work. He's disabled, and she only has a job that pays for the bills, so they don't have enough food stamps to make it through the month. And I got to go and feed them right quick.
Okay,
thank
please,
you, ma'am. We're going to try to get you some help.
I will, Blondie. I'll send you a PM tonight. I sure will.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Special Child.
Thank you so much for helping us understand everything and what we need to do. I have family members that's listening to the call, and they are just so grateful. They don't talk. They don't get on the board to communicate. I think they're just shy, and they don't. They just want to listen and absorb what they need to do for humanity and what they need to do for their family. And I appreciate every one of you telling us the truth.
You're welcome. That's what we're here
for.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Well, that was a very, very good call. Let us go to our next one here. And no, it's not you, Wheels. Phoenix, Arizona, Juan, 602. Come on down. Phoenix, Arizona, Juan, 602. Come on down.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, my question is, you made a mention about 5 o'clock. Whose 5 o'clock are we talking about? Hawaiian or Eastern?
Probably Eastern.
Well, you know, I have a great remark for that. I have a great response. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
There you go. That's beer drinking time. But normally they're talking about Eastern time is when they refer to things like that.
Okay, that's all I had. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Oh, my favorite place. It's where my ex lives. God bless Weatherford, Texas. 817. You're open.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes. A gentleman mentioned putting, I think he said 90% when he exchanges into one. Is that what he said?
Yes.
And is that because it's going to be worth more after the dust settles?
Uh-oh, where did my rock star go? I think he dropped off. It looks like he's gone.
Well, I'll jump in here on that, Jerry. And Martha, you're still with us. You come on here and help Blondie out, will you?
Yeah.
On this one. I think he was saying that if it's 1-to-1, that's his opinion. That's what he plans on doing. It may be a little better, but I think the conversation that we just had. Go ahead.
ICO, it depends it depends on how much ICO has. Let's be honest, okay, as to how much you're going to end up converting, if you even want to convert. All right. That's my answer to that one.
Can Bodie jump in?
Yeah, let Bodie go.
Well, we are planning on having the call tomorrow.
Bodie, you can't jump, but you can fall in.
I'll fly in for a second. Since we're talking about having the call tomorrow, I think we should wait and talk to ICO, but I think the 90% was the first scenario if we were going to be able to go fiat, exchange in fiat, but I'm sure that has changed now. But I think I would save that question until tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you.
Should I just come and ask it tomorrow?
Ray?
Yes, please.
I would like to think about that 5 o'clock thing. The markets are closed. That's all. And leave it alone. That's it.
Weatherford, is that it?
Are closed. That was
they
it.
closed at 4:30 o'clock.
Okay.
I have a million more questions, so you don't have time. I'm learning.
All right,
wait. I need Jerry, I need to ask Martha a clarification question. Martha, when you say at 5 o'clock, the markets all around the world are closed?
No, our market's closed at between 4:30 and 5. All the other markets are closed already from east to west.
Oh, you're 4:30 Eastern time. Got it. Yeah.
That's
okay. Thanks. Okay.
Yeah, the NASDAQ, the stock market, they're done.
Yeah.
Your blonde is showing. Your blonde is showing again, Blondie.
Well,
Stop
because I'm thinking if they close at 2 o'clock my time. Okay, so it's now almost 3 o'clock. But so I just didn't make the connection to Martha's time. So yeah, my blonde.
See?
Okay.
You're
go,
thinking
go,
again.
Go,
Stop
Jerry.
it.
Hey, we're
Weatherford. Weatherford, do
Gary.
you have any more questions? Do you have another question, ma'am? Weatherford? Oops, she's gone.
Jerry, can I make a suggestion for your call tomorrow? That we start a question list in the room?
Sure.
That would be a best place to do it. Then we could knock through you could knock through them all without opening up the lines to everyone. It would be a lot easier.
Got it. All right, here we go. Here we go to Here we go to Black Eyed Pea. Black Eyed Pea, come on down.
Hey, Jerry, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I had my hand up a little while ago, but I think we're going to deal with it tomorrow. Jerry, I tend to agree with you and Iko about this. I really doubt if we go in this weekend, we're coming out with rainbow color currency. I think it's confusing everybody, but we'll just wait till tomorrow and deal with that because that I guarantee you tonight that's going to go all around the North and it's going to be a firestorm.
Sure.
Yeah.
And this time, Blondie opened up that little, and she's the one with the Band-Aids and the bandages. I can tell you that right now. I'm still sore.
Yeah, but from what I understand, from what I understand, Jerry, I mean we're still fiat to fiat, and if this goes this weekend, I can definitely say we're still fiat to fiat. So whatever else is going on the back end and all this other stuff we're hearing could be true, but from what we're getting, we are where we are right now, and so let's deal with it tomorrow. But I think tonight it's gonna be a mess out there, but all is well.
Well, hey, it'll give them something to talk about, won't it?
Yeah, they're already talking, right? But we just made it worse.
No, we didn't. Now, come on, Black Eye.
All right. Now, Black Eye P, I'm going to go ahead and mute you out and go on to somebody else here.
All right, sounds good.
Thanks, Beep. Oh, and I want to just say, everyone, not everyone, but so why do I call him Beep? Well, isn't it better than Bep? You know, Black Eye P. Beep, isn't that like faster, cleaner, neater sort of thing? Anyway, there you go. Mystery solved. Go, Jer.
Are you ready for me?
Jerry, go.
Okay. Battle Creek, Michigan, 269. Come on down.
Hello, everyone.
How you doing?
Good. Very well. Very well. I was hoping you guys would get to me. I really appreciate it. This is Chipster on the board, and I've never really been on before. So, hello, everyone. Good to meet you guys. And my question is, it's kind of directed towards Yosef if he's still around, but if not, no problem. Whoever else can take this. He had said that the currency will come out 1-to-1 asset-backed. We'd always heard that the dollar would devalue and anywhere from 30 to 40%. He had said that out of the country, it will go down to 1/6 of its purchasing power out of the country, but in country 1-to-1. My question is over a period of time, is the new USN going to devalue by whatever percentage up to 60%, or is it still going to remain at a 1-to-1 level?
Jerry, have you unmuted me?
Yes, you've been open. Go ahead, Yosef.
Oh, okay. Good question. Very comprehensive question, I might add. The answer is it's already been revalued. So when it gets to you at the street level, it has already been reset. In essence, the deck has been reshuffled and you got a new hand and you can play it, as is. So the U.S. dollar, for all of its debts all over the world, all of its lies, all of its treasury notes that are outstanding, all of its bonds outstanding, all the overprinted currency from the Reagan days and the Clinton, printings. We printed extra money too to generate capital. That's all been settled. Derivatives, all been settled. Everything's all been settled. The whole concept of fiat or asset-backed has all been settled long ago, and the system behind the scenes has already been up and running for almost a year now. So the fear of moving into asset-backed for all of Dinarland, I'll just take it right off the table. There is no fear. Every currency by international treaty over 210 countries has agreed to a gold standard of value, and every country's assets have been audited against the gold standard. Some countries are getting new currencies, like the United States. Other countries are using existing currencies, like Zimbabwe is using the Chinese yuan. But in essence, there is safety, because how else could we function on a new financial system? We just came off of a system that was utterly corrupted. So you can't create, good money from a bad system. You have to literally change the system, and thus all the money coming onto the new system will be of a fair and equal value depending on the assets and topsoil and lumber and population and GDP. I mean, there's water, fresh water. There's a variety of different things that go into the value of a currency. So, very good question, but everything that you're asking, it's already been adjusted. So by the time it gets to you, it'll just be normal. in theory, you should never even notice there's a change other than there's a new currency bill.
So
but when you do travel, you'll notice it dramatically.
Okay. So, and I understand your answer 100%. But just to clarify, then no devaluing of the new U.S. and
the U.S. dollar has been devalued. It's kind of already been wrapped up into the larger algorithm.
Okay, very good. Go ahead.
Yeah, good question though. I mean, that's the fear, right? Are we going to get fiat, or are we going to get a devaluation? Are there arbitrages to be had in other areas? The answer is that's all been thought through by really smart people, and they've been doing it for decades, preparing for this moment.
In theory, there's really no reason, besides diversification, in theory, there's no reason to go and buy other currencies to make any type of arbitrage in between them. It's already done. Everything is equal pretty much across the board and will be for a long period of time.
Right. Yeah, technically you don't have to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have the bank buy 2 sets of reinsurance, one through Lloyd's and one through Alliance, and that will, in essence, kind of backstop my holdings. And then once I get my bearings and I get my kind of base account, so I'll go and I'll redeem my currency. I'll get my base account with Wells, because Wells is HSBC, which is Bank of China, which is some private banks in China that the elders own. So in essence, when you redeem it at Wells, especially if you have ZIM and a large pool of money, you're in essence redeeming with the elders. So they're going to honor every dollar. Okay? Now, will I still buy the extra protection or ask the bank to buy me extra protection? Yes. Can you put it into other currencies to create portfolio diversity? Yes, you can. Is it a bad strategy? I don't think it's bad. I just think it might be an extra step that we're unfamiliar with as individual consumers.
Joseph, I have a question. This is Blondie. When you said about that buying the extra insurance and you said Alliance, or were you talking about Allianz?
Yeah, Allianz, right. Alliance.
Okay, all right.
Alliance. But yeah, they're the two biggies.
I wanted to clarify that.
And I understand it. I think Lloyd's is backstopping all of the deposits, if I'm not mistaken. But I might buy reinsurance on the reinsurance just to have a secondary kind of collateral holder. And the banks, if you have a large enough sum of money, they'll pay for that on their own. You can ask for it as one of your perks.
Isn't Lloyd's of London owned by the Rothschilds?
Yeah, isn't that great?
Why would they? This is my if they're owned by Rothschild, why are they going to insure something if they know they're trying to screw us, and then then themselves say, oh well, we're bankrupt and we have nothing to pay you back with.
Because once the new system started, transactions create value, right?
True.
So part of the negotiations of the dark and the light was, we get a couple bumps here and there, we get a couple advantages here and there, and this was part of it. This is how they massaged the deal. And it's
just
not bad.
another way of forcing the dark to do the right thing, even though they don't like it.
Pretty much. That's
oh, bless their hearts.
Yeah, praise God. Huh? Lord is very generous. Turn the other cheek. My God.
Thank you, Joseph. Let's.
Joseph, you took it one step further even for me, which I really appreciate on telling me what your plans were, and I'm sure that helps all of the people on this call. And so I want to say thank you very much to you. God bless. And to the rest of you, Jerry and Blondie and Martha and Aiko and everyone, you guys have been a blessing through the forum and the calls, and you are very, very much appreciated. So thanks again. Chipster out. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's see. Let's go to this gentleman right here. Fayetteville, North Carolina, 910.
Yes, hi.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing? God, this is such an exciting call. I have a question. I guess anybody can answer it, but I'm kind of confused about something. when we go and exchange, and we're in front of them, and they offer all the bells and whistles and all the perks, how can I ensure that when the money goes to my account, it's what do they call that? Non-interest bearing
Interest
account?
bearing?
Yes. How do I make sure that is not in play?
Well,
have you been on the call, ma'am?
Yes. I mean,
Did you hear Wheels talk about that at the very beginning of the call?
Yes, but what I'm getting confused. If we're on the table negotiating all this with our exchanger, and they offer all these things, the bank wants to get something out of this. If they said you're going to get this and this portion of the interest, how can I guess I'm crossing something in my mind is crossing.
Okay, so I'm going to jump in here right now since Joseph has acknowledged that today, or the next few hours anyway, are the hours of the woman. So here's Blondie's advice, okay? Just go in, get your exchange done, whatever account you have set up, just do that. Get it in there. And then just chill out for a couple of days and then go back in and you can move it to a non-interest-bearing account if you choose or wherever you want to move it. Do not get off. Okay, listen to, let me rephrase this. Blondie is not going to get all worked up over what account its exchange is going into. I'll take a couple of days. I mean, other than depending on what we find out before we exchange. How about that? What I know from today, if I went into the bank today, knowing what I know now, I would just do the exchange and get it done, and then relax to find out whatever the next shoe to fall is.
And then make some adjustments after the exchange and go on.
There you go.
That makes a lot of sense.
God,
thank you.
Jerry actually
right.
agreed with me.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Gerald, how much time do I have left, or Joseph, on the woman thing?
20 minutes before the year of the woman is over.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Better capitalize on it.
Blacksburg, South Carolina. Come on down.
Hey, everyone.
Yep.
Hey.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
It's Sephora. I'm not on your forum. I wanted to make a comment. I think it was either Joseph or Iko who said something about military troop movement.
Hold on. The only way that you can make a comment, since it's the year of the woman, you've got to roar. Hear us roar. Got to have a roar, ma'am.
I'm not so much.
And make it a good one. We've only got 20 minutes.
Hey, I don't know how to roar. Even though my sign is Leo, I don't know how to roar.
Okay, all right.
To the back of the bus, sweetheart. Let's get some.
Ma'am, let me help you out. Meow.
Ow! How about that?
There you go.
Well, now that's Wolfie's. Now he's got that one. That's kind of copyrighted.
No,
anyway,
that was
ahead,
a
ma'am.
cat's meow, not a wolf's howl. I know the difference. Either Iko or Joseph had made a comment about troop movements earlier in the call, and it brought to mind something I saw yesterday afternoon about between 1 and 2 p.m. on Interstate 85 southbound. My sister and I were heading down to Spartanburg. We saw a small convoy of 6 military vehicles, 4 to 6, and made note of it. And when that was said earlier on, I'm like, wait a minute. The Black Hawk helicopters, I saw 3 helicopters in a triangular formation last night coming home. Saw the military convoy yesterday. Bingo, 2 plus 2. There's the verification.
Well, thank
Don't
you,
know
ma'am.
if that helps anybody, but I saw it. Interstate 85 southbound between 1 and 2 p.m. yesterday afternoon, Eastern Time. Don't know where they were going, but I do know there was a Humvee, a couple of real small real short, squat vehicles in the convoy.
Well, thank you, ma'am.
So,
we appreciate that.
Can I add something, Jerry?
Sure.
Over here in the Space Coast area, which you know where I'm located, right? We have had an excessive amount of these absolutely giant, I would call them troop carrier helicopters in sets of 5 flying here. They're black and totally unmarked. And someone I know questioned some military people lately. They wouldn't tell us who they were or what they were doing, except about the only thing we got out of the person was they're here to protect us. So, very interesting. Things that are going on, exactly what Joseph was talking about. So,
okay, that makes
you,
sense.
ma'am.
That makes sense.
Of course
they
it
are
does.
here to protect us.
That's it.
I'm glad. I'm proud. I've noticed extra security, too, at our local Bank of America bank branch, too. They had 2 in the same city, close to me. They closed down the one, and that was the main branch, and transferred everything over to the office, the auxiliary branch, which is on close to the interstate, which I found interesting. And this was pretty recent, like within the last 2 to 3 months.
Do you have a
and
question?
I just got a text
for us?
from somebody. Jerry?
Yes.
I just got a text from somebody in your neck of the woods that says we have had dual rotor military helicopters over Dallas all day today and yesterday.
Wow.
Well, they call them, the official term is Chinook, but they've been around so long, they call them caca hooks, okay? I'm trying not to say that bad word. I'm trying to clean up my way. So, yes, it's Chinook helicopters.
Why start
twin
now,
rotors.
Jerry? Why start
All right,
now?
they call them shit hooks, okay?
Oh, no. Not nice.
Leave me alone. I'm trying to be nice.
Jerry, is Hot Wheels still around?
No, she put her hand down, so I don't know where she's at. Anyway,
I have some great info for everybody. I have actually texted it to Bodie, and she will print it. But that form from Wells Fargo is available in a PDF format that can be printed off the Internet.
Cool. Thank you, ma'am.
All right. So we'll try and get it into the room. All they have to do is, open it up, run it to a printer. That's it. But it's available.
And Wheels, I know Wheels is working on that.
Yeah, tell her, well, that's what I'm saying. If she's still around, let her know that we found it. I found it, sent it to Bodie, so she in turn will post it. All right?
Let's take another caller here because we're just about out of time.
Oh, yeah.
Aiken, South Carolina, 803. Come on down.
Is that me?
Yes, sir.
803. Okay, this is Festus B. from South Carolina. Anyway, got a comment to make. I have been telling people for the last 3 years that the ZIM could be at $70. Now, just what was said before, the price of gold. You got gold in your hands. Steve from South Carolina. Anyway,
you need to turn your. Hold on. Wait a minute. Wolfie, I'm going to mute you because we hear you in the background. We'll get back to Wolfie in a second. So, sir, go ahead, and then we're going to bring Wolfie in.
Yes, sir. I have been telling people for 3 years now about the ZIM actually being worth $70 per bill, per digit. And they look at me like I'm crazy as you know what, but you've got the price of gold there, backing that bill. So negotiate, people, when you go in there. Keep your head up. You got more than what you need, and hand it out gracefully. And thank you for
don't be afraid to pick it up and say, well, you can talk to your wealth manager at the next go around and get a rate increase. I'm sorry. Once it leaves your hands, you don't
That's
have
right.
anything to negotiate with.
Thank you, Jerry. And listen, also, history lesson here. The Confederate flag is still on the dome at the Capitol of South Carolina. It's the state flag.
Thank God.
Original.
Thank God.
It's the original Confederate flag, 1860, January the 20th. That flag was representing the state, the nation of South Carolina, and the Confederate state of South Carolina. So there you go, folks. They've been pulling the wool over your eyes on everything. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you, sir. One last person.
Well, Wolfie, you're bringing Wolfie in.
Oh. Come on
I don't
now.
know. Well, you muted me. Am I unmuted?
You're
You
unmuted.
are.
Okay. I wasn't unmuted to start with. I don't know where that noise was coming from, but it was not I.
Okay. Well, go ahead. You're the last caller. Make it good.
Well, okay. No pressure, huh? Make it good.
Well,
okay.
Wait a minute. If you don't make it good, we're going to call you from the herd. You know, you got to call the calls from the herd.
Well,
And if you don't make it good, Wolfie, you're going to suffer the wrath of Blondie.
I didn't even know I was in a herd. I didn't know I was in a herd, or I thought I was in a flock. Us wolves were in. I don't know what we're in. Flocks, herds. Anyhow, I said something on the chat this morning. I didn't want to post anything, but because of reasons. But what I was hearing about us going ahead and getting this thing done this weekend to Monday, it's not anything, especially that's been not said before. So, I didn't want to go ahead and repeat anything that had been said. But what it was with me that made me so know that this thing is getting ready to happen is where it came from. It's like, who said it? It is what I'm going by. This was the biggest confirmation that I could have ever gotten. And so I just wanted to be able to come in, and this evening and say, this is for real. And it is the biggest confirmation I've got. Like I said, it's not that anything new has not ever been said before, but it's where it came from and who said it has got me on fire, because I know now that this thing is hours away. And that, to me, is a good thing. If you want something good, to me, that's about as good as you get.
I think we'll that's worthy of staying in the pack.
All right.
Thank you, Wolfie.
Hey, Wolfie, can I come run with the pack?
Well, sure.
I have 10 minutes. I have 10 minutes left. Okay.
Well, yeah, you can come run with it anytime you want to. You'll have to tell the other females to move back, though. You know how that goes.
Yeah, I got it.
Wolfie, I want you to visualize something.
Okay.
Running with the pack, but for Blondie, her vision or version of running with the pack is high heels and a smile, and that's it.
And out in
and I thought, Jerry, I thought you were going to say a six-pack.
No. Yours is a cocktail.
In your world would be a six-pack of beer. In my world would be a guy with a six-pack.
Blondie, if you ran with the pack, you would be the one out front, and I would be following. So I don't know if that's fair or not.
Oh Lord, we better wrap this up.
Too bad. Yeah, we better, Jer.
That's okay.
I'm going downhill.
I know my place. I know where it's at. It's way back.
All right. So
thanks,
I think it's it's been a great call today. It's going to be a little short because we're going to have an hour call tomorrow at 3:30 Central. Or I'm sorry, 3:30 Eastern, for an hour to discuss the little tidbits that we run across this morning that need to be addressed all by itself. And that's all that conversation will consist of, that topic. And what's that topic again, Blondie?
I don't know. I'm still reveling in this last 9 minutes now that I have of the power of the woman thing.
Oh, my Lord.
Maybe that's what it should be. call strictly for the women.
You see, this is
I
why
don't.
we can't rule.
I don't know. We were talking exchange the yuan thing. Is that what we're going to talk about tomorrow?
Yeah, the one-to-one thing, and you know what? And Rockstar number one's going to head up that conversation.
Joe, you give them a little bit of power, it goes to their head, and they forget all the details.
Well, hey, Iko, we get it so rarely. What would you expect?
You know what will send a pack of women into an absolute what's the word I'm looking for? No, not a tizzy, honey.
I was going to say.
Tizzy.
No. I'll think of a second. But anyway, the words that will send a woman into a trance. Attention, Kmart special, blue light special. Sends them into a trance every time, and then it looks like a stampede.
Jer, I'm sorry. I don't know what women you hang around with.
I was just
going to
say, let's go shopping.
Yeah, better one, but I'm going to refrain from it.
You say it, Bodie, before I have to say it. Go, Bodie.
I mean, really, Jer, I'm a lady. I don't go to Walmart or Kmart.
What about Bloomingdale's, people?
Bloomingdale's, now we're talking.
Okay, ladies, we need to step it up here.
Attention, Target shoppers. We've got a red light special in the corner over there.
Now, Jerry,
that's Target,
the only thing
that's
that I
Target.
go to Walmart for, and my ex-husband, and this is always a joke around the house, is toilet paper. I will shop for the best deal around town for toilet paper. And there will never be a day in Blondie's house that one would run out of toilet paper. And you can confirm that with all of my friends, my lifelong friends of 30 years. You never have to worry about running out of toilet paper at Blondie's house because she's always shopping the sales for toilet paper.
Well,
So,
I thought maybe it's because you were looking for the perfect powder puff for your butt.
And I thought that would bring
hope
world peace.
RV, you get a life, honey.
Okay, all right, here we go. We're gonna wrap this up. I can't take any more of Woman of the Year.
Blondie, we love you. You are Woman of the Year.
Oh, too funny.
Anyway,
Blondie, out in the woods, like where I live, we don't use toilet paper. We just pick up a rabbit.
Okay. Well, I'll bring enough for the party. Okay.
Oh my God.
I promise. I'll bring enough for the party.
Okay. All right. We're wrapping this up now.
All right.
Thank
see you guys
everybody.
Tomorrow.
Hold
Goodbye.
on. Goodbye. Thank you, everybody.
Bye. Thanks all the hosts. Thanks transcribers and everybody. Kiss, kiss, kiss. Blah blah blah. We love you.
Thank you, Joseph, for all of your insight. If we do have a call tomorrow, you're welcome to come on and give us a little more guidance. Rockstar, you're required to be there. 1 and 2 rock stars. Thank you, all you transcribers. Can't do it without you. But most importantly, thank you to the people that make this call, each and every one of you, from the bottom of my heart. To the callers, thank you very much. Again, you allow Blondie and I to be MC hosts just to keep everybody between the white lines. If you get out of bounds, kick you back in play. It's the highlight of Blondie's day. I get a kick out of it too because I get to drink beer. So anyway, barring an RV, see everybody tomorrow at 3:30 to talk about 1-to-1. Hammer,
Bye.
last.
That's it. And allowing us to be irreverent, it is what it is.
All
hey,
right, I'm
you
stopping.